Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I'm Wardan Rusofia. Here, I would like to deliver material based on the journal that I have read. The title of journal is SMSLEFA, an alternative synergistic multi-layered analysis of students' learning engagement in EFL context by Didi Suherdi from English Language Education Department, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. The paper explicates how SMSLEFA, or Synergistic Multilayered Students' Learning Engagement Framework of Analysis, works, as well as describe the nature of SLE, or Students' Learning Engagement, in an English as a Foreign Language, or EFL teaching. Okay, we move to the next slide. It's about method of the research. The first is sample. This study used a sample from an Indonesian senior high school class, consists of a teacher and 24 students involved in teaching learning process, dealing with talking about news items. The second is a data collection instrument. The data were collected through 3 activities. Those are recording teaching learning process, observation, and file note-taking. The last is data analysis. The data that have been collected were then analyzed according to their nature and function. Classroom discourse as recorded in the teaching learning process recordings were then analyzed using SMSLEFA. Meanwhile, the other data were used to complement the main data and were analyzed qualitatively. Since the data analysis process was through SMSLEFA, the explanation will be presented in the rest of the section. SMSLEFA was developed based on systemic functional linguistic metafunctions. Same as language metafunctions, SMSLEFA consists of 3 layers. Those are learning interaction, learning behavior, and learning text. Okay, the next is finding and discussions of this research. The first one is analyzing learning interaction, or LI. SMSLEFA takes LI as the layer that helps manifest the role relationship among interactants in a classroom discourse. To be specific, this layer is concerned with the power relationship between teachers and students, and students and students. LI is analyzed using systematic approach to classroom discourse analysis. Okay, let's look at the table. This table consists of data of students-teacher interaction patterns. We have K-oriented, S-oriented, and A-oriented. Each of them consists of some exchange type. For example, in K-oriented, there are K1, 1 as primary, 2 as secondary, and the last is day as delay. From the table, we can see that S-oriented exchange is dominant with 75 number, or 53.58% of the exchange in the lesson. This is far above that devoted to K-oriented and A-oriented. This indicates that the teacher's main concern was student skills in talking about news items. To establish these skills, the teacher used explanations, illustrations, and examples prior to skill-oriented exercise. The second is analyzing learning behavior, or LB. This analysis rests on the result of LI's analysis, and based on the label of the moves, the category of an exchange can then be determined whether it is K-oriented, A-oriented, or S-oriented. This identified category leads to students' learning behavior process. K corresponds to cognitive, or C. A informs students' affective, or A, and S corresponds to psychomotor, or P, behavior. Okay, let's look at the table of learning behaviors developed in the teaching learning process. In cognitive domain, there are 6 levels of learning behavior. It includes remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. The second is affective domain. Domain consists of 5 levels of learning behavior, includes receiving phenomena, responding to phenomena, valuing, organizing, and characterizing. And the last, psychomotor domain also consists of 5 levels, including imitating, manipulating, perceiving, articulating, and naturalizing. We can see that P process is dominant. It means the teacher puts emphasis on communicative skills development, which is psychomotor in nature, with the help of cognitive and affective process. P3 processing is the most dominant in this lesson, indicates the teacher's focus on helping students develop a high standard of communicative competence. Okay, we've come to the last of analysis, that is analyzing learning text, or LT. The LT is produced by both the teachers and the students in the lesson are categorized into text, or T, sentence, or S, phrases, or P, words, or W, and syllables. In analyzing LT, SMSLEFA views teachers and students' text in a theme or rhyme, or given or new perspective. This means that the teacher's text determine or lead students' wants. When teachers expect one-word answer, students will normally provide one-word answer, or phrase with one phrase, sentences with sentences, and text with text. And each of the categories is divided into multimodal or multisemiotic, or M, and monomodal or monosemiotic. Monomodal and monosemiotic text form the majority of LTs in the lesson up to 103, or 71.53%. We can see from the table. There are 6 multimodal and multisemiotic texts, or MT, 2 sentences, and 9 words. And then no syllable or multimodal phrase is shown in the table. And other categories including sentences, phrases, words, and even multimodal text were utilized in his teaching to help develop text mastery. Okay, so in conclusion, this research has been successful in demonstrating how SMSLEFA analyzed SLE synergistically, and in describing SLE in an Indonesian genre-based teaching. SLE in the teaching learning process has been successfully developed through K1 and DS1, initiated exchange, and the support of other kinds of exchange. This interaction pattern encourages the development of synergistic combination of C1 and P2 process as the dominant process, leading to the production of T, or text level communication, as the most frequently processed throughout the teacher learning process. And as for the first objective, It has been shown that the data have been analyzed in 3 synergistic and integrated layers. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.